Okay, everyone, if you will take your seats, please. We would like to get started here soon. Yes, you are.
I'm a sunflower.
Yes, you are.
Well, good evening. I'd like to thank you all for coming out this evening. There are just as many angels as people, so this is good. My name is Gary Springfield. I've been on the spiritual quest for probably 35, almost maybe 40 years now. Traveled extensively teaching. I've taught at some of the largest Unity churches in the South, in the West and the Southwest. And about a year and a half ago, I met Sondra Sneed, and for 35 years, really honing my practice, teaching spirituality, meditation. I was very amazed to find someone who had such a profound depth of awareness, of feeling of heart, of connection to spirit, to source, to God. She's been a major player in my life since then, bringing forth information and wisdom that has radically changed my perceptions, my ability to touch into the connection to spirit. So I'd like to introduce to my great friend Sondra Sneed, who will be talking tonight. Sondra? A long walk.
I was admiring your image on the recording.
A flower.
Yes. It's blended it. That's the only thing missing there is this beautiful yellow right there. So thank you for that beautiful introduction. What we're going to do here is something that came out of a reading from Gary. Gary's future has a major impact in the world was revealed to us in these readings that God did through me for him. And in one of those readings was an education about the call to God, the sound of God. And back in the time of Muhammad, there was a misinterpretation of the Allah. It was never meant to be the name of God, it's the sound of God. So we're going to demonstrate that tonight, and what that's going to do is allow this amazing crystalline formation to completely inhabit this location and even raise the vibration all the way out to the people who are watching us on simulcast right now. So we'll go ahead and begin that and reset. So now is the beginning when Sondra turns into the nature of God within her. And that is the sound of the voice that you are hearing now. And this voice is in each and every human being, in every cell of the universe, and every condition of all things God. God forms in all things a form but draw God. So as God is drawn through the form excites. And as it excites, it reminds. Reminds. So your mind is in the mind of God, is in the mind of God, is in the mind of God. And every mind of God that grows bigger and bigger and bigger in the smaller mind grows bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. Now, tonight's talk is the third talk of 9 talks. And each one of these talks are designed to bring the listener into a higher state of understanding what the nature of spirit, soul, and body is. Because this information has been lost through time. Because it wasn't until now the human beings could see through an electron microscope and the Hubble telescope to see so deep into space that the phenomenology of it profoundly changes the course of humankind. Phenomena, phenomenal, phenomenology is the wave of the future. So the deeper humans go into understanding what makes up particles and what makes up the universe, the deeper humans go into understanding the age of the universe, the less significant the 80 years of a human life seems. But the thing is, when you understand the nature of the soul and how the soul has journeyed through eons and eons and eons just to make a body, you will feel the true age of your being, and it isn't within this body. The spirit of you is even older than the soul of you. The soul of you was designed by the spirit of you, and the spirit of you was designed by the God of you. And that God is in you. That age of ages. So in the old song, Rock of Ages, what that's really about is you. You are a rock of ages. Ageless. Timeless. So when you understand the nature of this, you start to become more alive in this body. But the reason you come alive in this body is because you realize that the being that you really are is here, not here. So when the being you are is really out here, and you build your awareness and the understanding of that, you start to understand how there are other beings that are out here. These other beings may or may not be beings you want to talk to. If you're a medium, you better talk to them because you were born to help them. Don't be afraid of them. If you're a medium who is afraid, you are a medium who is afraid of the purpose you were born. So to all of you watching this later on, to all of you who are here, what you sense about the world around you is related to the nature of your being here. Why are you here? So tonight's talk is called Tyrants of the Mind. Now a tyrant is that which dictates to all else, right? The tyrant dictates to all else. And a tyrant of the mind can be any number of ill or well being. In the ill being, the tyrant of the mind is always about what you're not enough of, what you could never be, what you're just not giving enough effort to, and the wounding that you cause yourself over and over again for what you are not yet. That tyrant of the mind is a tyrant that says there's nothing you can do without someone else helping you. So if they're not around, you can't be who you are that is the best of you. That means that the tyrant of your mind is someone else. And how out of control is that? If you have to depend on someone else to tell you how great you are, then they dictate to you when you're not enough. But guess who's really the dictator of that? Your soul. It's your soul that tells you, hey, are you sure we're supposed to be doing this? Because this doesn't feel quite right. This doesn't feel quite right. Your soul can't tell what you're doing. It doesn't know what this is doing. All it knows is what it feels. And if you don't feel in purpose and in mind, the soul is going to say to you, I'm not sure this is what we should be doing. I'm not sure this is why I came here. And the body is just moving in alignment with the tyrants of the mind of the world, doing what it's told to do. And the soul is saying, I don't think this is quite right. Are you sure? The spirit of you says, I know we can do better. I know we're much more than this. I know there's something better for us out there. I know we can do this. We can do this. But the body of you might say, I'm tired. I'll never get to what I need. I'll never get what I need. The soul will go, are you sure this is what we're supposed to be doing? And the spirit of you will go, come on, we can do it. We can do it. I know we can. I know we can. So learning to align those three creates a whole new tyrant. The tyrant of the mind, that is the you of you. The you of you, that is the true of you, connects body to soul to spirit. The true of you aligns to the source of you, and the source of you is the being of you that is the God of you. You are from the source of all being, so all possibility is there for you. But what if there seems to be these obstacles that get in the way, these little things that get in the way? Well, I would be doing this, but this has to come first, but I can't do this until this is done. And if I can't do this until this is done, So here's how that happens. When you change who the tyrant is, you change the tyrant who says to you, we'll never get this done because we don't have this done. And if this is not done, then we can't do this part. The tyrant of the mind that comes from the God of you would say, step one, beep, bop, boop, bop, beep. Step two, beep, bop, boop, bop, beep. Step three, beep, bop, boop, bop, beep. And every step that you take is small, but every step that you take has a huge ripple effect on the future of who you are. This tyrant always says, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. Eventually, the reward of that looks back and says, wow, we've done a lot. How proud am I of me? So, the me that is proud of me is a special me. This is the me of me. This is the me that says, in this situation, the most me is the one that keeps going. But if I'm going to be the me of me that is the best of me, I need to know what I'm doing, where I'm going, who I am, where this is right here up here, that is the forward way. What is the forward way? The forward way is the I am. I am. And this is the God of you, the I of you. I am. I am going to get this done today. I am tired. Which one of those I ams actually has progress? I am going to get this done today. Even if you don't get it done today, if you keep saying, I am going to get this done today, eventually you'll get it done today. Because the I am is a creative force. Will. I will be what I am. And that is the best of me, the me of me, the true of me, the proud of me, I am of me. Me and the I are the two most important tyrants of your mind. And they satisfy every goal you could ever create in your life. If. For dramatic effect. If you recognize that the I is a creative force, it's not a set-in-stone condition. No one took a stone and typed in what you are. The I creates it all the time. It's dynamic. So there's nothing about you that is set in stone. It is water, and it flows in the direction you make it go. It's a flow. And the only thing that stagnates it is what the I am says. I am tired. I am worthless. I'm not good enough. I couldn't do this. I could never do what she's doing. But the I that says, I think that's really neat. I think I might want to do that. I think there is something interesting about that. I wonder if I could do that. And the me of you would say, I'm not sure that that's me. Are you sure that that would be the me? I don't feel like me. Not usually. What would make me feel like me? What would make me feel like me? That's the big question. What would make me feel like me? How could I be the me of me that is the best of me? That's the question. And it's fluid. It's fluid. And as you pull that fluid through the heart, that fluid comes out all over the place to everyone. Because what they see of you is the me of you. Is being the most of you. And it spills out on them. And they feel the me of you, and they wonder about the me of themselves. Am I as good as the me of me she's showing me? Because it feels nice. It's true of me. I feel in her next to me. She sees me. The true me. The spirit of me. The me of me. And the more you see of the me of you, the me of me, you see the me in others. And they are so much greater than they see in themselves. And you want to do something about it. You want to tell them, you're more than you're seeing yourself. You're so much greater than that. You're so much more than you think you are. That's what happens when you see the me of me in the view of you, the greater me, the greater you, the higher being that is the God of you, that made you perfect, exactly the way you're supposed to be. You were made that way. And the more you believe in that, the more you become it. And the more alive every ounce of you is. Even when this body feels like it doesn't want to go on anymore, the me of you could be in the joy of you, in the sleep of you, forevermore. So the body can just pass away if it wishes to, as the spirit of you and the soul of you journeys on into the other of you, the next of you. There is another next of you, by the way. And in that next of you, you might decide to be another you. And in another you might create another body. You might say, well, in this life, what I'd really like to do is figure out what the world needs in a word. That's what happened to me. I'm a Godscribe. What does a word mean? In the beginning was a word. What? Word was God. From the beginning, the Word wrote itself. The consciousness, it wrote itself. How can a word write itself? Do you know why? Or how? You're a word person. I can feel it. And words are so grand. The right word can hold your mind in suspension long enough to change your mind. So if you focus in on the words that your mind uses to tell you about you, then you can find out what is the tyrancy going on. What words are your minds connected to? Because you're more than one mind. I'm not sure if you know that. You are more than one mind. Your body has a mind. Your soul has a mind. Your spirit has a mind. And within all those minds are all these roles that you play every day. So someday you feel really good about yourself, and that is a mind that says, I'm the best of me. And what a good day I've had to show the best of me. And another mind might say to you the next day, you're a worthless, no good piece of doo. You ever listen to that mind? If you listen to that mind at all, know that it lies. It creates illusions. And it started way, way back. For some people, these illusions were created in a previous life, and they got stuck in the body system as your body was recreating itself. That memory came through. And for some people, they've got a chronic ache, and they don't know where it came from. But it could very well come from the previous lifetime of a mind that wouldn't shut up, of what you're not good enough at. It wouldn't shut up. So it created a chronic ill. And every time you activate that chronic ill, the mind of it shoots back in. These thoughts are the creation of words in form, physical conditioning caused by the unseen realm of you, the unseen being of you. The soul of you cannot be seen with eyeballs. Now, sometimes some souls that are stuck here, they know how to draw the humidity out of the air, or they know how to draw the electromagnetic conditioning out of the air, and they can create over time something visually attractive, something you can catch in the corner of your eye. Some people can even see them straight on. But the soul of you really is unseeable. It is the collection of the things around you to that soul that creates some kind of form. Now, when you are in utero, that collection of cells comes from the body of the mother. That collection of cells you're creating. It's like this. It's a weaving. It's a knitting. It's a making. And the more you make of it, the more you are of it. The soul is making a form. Cell by cell by cell by cell by cell. Depending on the mind that the soul is inhabiting, depends on how the hormones are flushed in the mother. It determines what gender you are, how far into each gender you are, based on your experience of a previous life to determine what you're going to be in this life. If you were a man in a previous life, and you told Spirit, I think it's necessary that I be a woman in this next life so that I can learn this lesson to expand in this life and overcome something important. But then you chicken out some way, and you're not fully the gender that is the opposite of what you were. You might be one gender in spirit and another gender in body. It's that fluid, that quick, that interpreted by the body, the will of you. So if your will isn't that strong into being another gender, I don't know if I want to be a woman in this life. Women got a really bad rap. I don't think I can be as successful as a woman. I think I need to stay a man in this life. I don't know. You come out, you're kind of a manly woman. And you're confused about who you are because there's nothing in society that tells you anything about this. There's nothing in society that's going to tell you you created that. You created an unfinished gender. But think about the perfection of that. How beautiful that is. How beautiful. Sometimes it takes a manly woman to do things a woman would never dream of doing. So she expands the nature of woman. Or a man who would never want to look gay goes into things that men don't want to go into to bring men into it. There is an attention that changes in the human world thanks to chickens. Gender chickens. It's the transition between that takes the most effort because you have to assume that you could be a woman when you've been a man or a man when you've been a woman. That's total faith. So Sondra, this body, was a man in a previous life who was very unfeeling toward women. And in his womanizing, he always liked busty women, and he treated them badly. So we put this being into a woman with a 38, 24, 32. And when she walked into a room beginning at age 16, and every head turned, and they said things to her she didn't like about how she looked that wasn't any of their business. The man she was started to see what a jerk he was. And so she overcame the condition of this by creating a new tyrant. The tyrant, instead of being the man who makes women look bad, the tyrant is the woman who makes men look bad. So she used her wit, and she slayed every man who attempted to overcome her. Slayed him. But when she found God, and God showed her the heart of a man was just as pure as a woman, she became more gentle. So the reason that we bring this up, and this is Sondra saying, because it's a little embarrassing, a little personal on me here. It usually doesn't. Because the reason that we did, Sondra, is because there are some people in this room and some people who are going to be watching this video who need to hear this. They need to understand that they are not this body. This body doesn't dictate who you are. This body simply identifies for you what it is your being wants to do. So in the nature of your goodness is also the nature of your beingness. A strong man has strong ways. A strong woman has strong ways. A timid man has timid ways, and so on and so on. And in these ways is a recognition of who is the tyrant. So let's say a man is a timid condition. And in this timid condition, he loses the attraction of the women he's attracted to. How does his timidity create that for him? How does his timidity create for him a draw to the very woman that will deny him? How does that happen? Does anyone want to take that? Think of a timid man who wants the attention of a woman who is brash, overt, overbearing. Why does he want attention?
Feel good enough about himself.
And how does that feel good to him when he gets her attention?
Recognition, validation, acknowledgement that even though he's timid, he's still worth something.
Yes. Even though he's timid, he's still worth something. And why is it that a woman of this kind gives him that? Because he does not have it. That. So the draw then is to that which you want, you do not have. Why is this a condition of tyrancy in the mind? Why does the mind need that which it does not have? Yes, there's more to it, just a little bit more to it. To grow into. To grow into. The I am. Right? Sometimes you need validation from that which already is of that which you want to be. And love is the best way to manage that. Now, in this case, this timid man that we're referring to, and this brash woman that he is attracted to, the thing that has to occur in both of them for this to be a match made in heaven is that the heart of them has to allow for what? Say that again?
Growth.
Has to allow for growth, right. But what are they growing into?
Themselves.
They're growing into themselves. And in this growing into themselves, then, there is some projection of what it is they wish to be. There's a projection into the other. So a timid man approaches the lion. I just want to love you. I just want to take care of you. You really need me. You can't take care of yourself very well. What do you mean I can take care of myself? No, you're not doing a very good job. I can feel your heart really needs me. You need me. I don't need you. I don't need anybody. I need you. What weakened her? She fell in love with the one who showed her love. Finally, this woman of great power that can do anything and doesn't need anyone suddenly is noticed by one who wants to give her love. She melts. Finally, someone notices me. And in this, the me of me shows up. And the me of me says, I'm not the beast I thought I was. I have a heart. I have love. I am love. I am love. He sees me for what I am. And loves me anyway. So this is how God works, you know. God sees you exactly the way you are. Whether you're a beast or a timid mouse. And God sees you exactly the way God made you in the perfection of that. And then puts in front of you ways to reflect that. And you can ignore it for a long time. For a long time. You can ignore love. You can ignore hate. You can ignore anything that might make you feel something. But when you stop ignoring it, and you start seeing it in yourself, and you start believing in yourself, start believing that maybe you are perfect. You just need to find what is the perfection of what you already are. Because there's no such thing as imperfect. That's just the world telling you something. The world tells you it expects something of you. And so it says, you're imperfect. But if you believe that, the tyrant of that mind will destroy you. The tyrant of the mind needs to be the perfection of you, knowing you are perfect. You were made perfect. So any way that you are is some alignment to perfection. So what is that alignment? What is the me of me? That God made of me. The perfection of me. The joy of me. That is the me of me. And when you start to see that here, the me of me, then the you of you starts to reflect that, the me of me. The timid man and the brash woman, they actually start to change. he becomes stronger because she loves him. And she becomes softer because he loves her. And the perfection of that is this beautiful compliment. Beautiful. God made it just that way. So, how do we end this part of the program? Because we could talk about this for days. The way that we end this part of the program, and by the way, after this break, we will each have an opportunity to ask a question of source. It can be personal, or it can be about the universe. If you have the chance to ask God anything, what would be the question? So we're going to end this part of the program tonight with one very special story. Dramatic effect. Once upon a time, there was a wee little lamb. And this lamb started to understand itself as being small. Because it looked at all the other sheep, and they were much bigger. And it was just a little lamb. And in the size of them was a growing number of them. And the smaller this little lamb felt, insignificant and unappreciated by all the bigger sheep. They started to push him around. They made him do things he didn't want to do. But he was too small to demand his way. So they pushed him around, doing things he didn't want to do. And the more they fought him on what he wanted to do, the more he decided that he is that which they make him do. I'm laughing at you guys. Sometimes I wish I had a video camera up here, just the audience distracted me and made me laugh. That's okay. So, the lamb, who started to fall lockstep, doing what the other sheep were doing, so that he didn't get nipped and barked at, yelled at, and pushed around. He started to do what he was told to do. This little sheep turned into a big sheep. And just like all the other sheep, began to do what the ewes do. And in the ewe condition, he looked like all the other ewes. He was no more a little lamb. He wanted to do what he wanted to do. He was a ewe that did what all the other ewes do, so that he could be just like all the others, not getting into trouble. Just being like all the other ewes. No trouble at all, until another little lamb comes along. Keep that lamb in line. No good lamb. Just wanting to do what he wants to do. That's not how you do it. The ewes need to do what the ewes do. No little lamb's going to get in the way. But I want to do what I want to do. Do you know who this lamb is? Each one of you. Precious, perfect, joyful, and programmed by all the other ewes. These are tyrants
of the mind. To know who you truly are, you have to remember the precious, perfect Lamb you were born to be. Perfect. Beautiful. You are, you, ma'am, are a golden bouquet. That's what I see up here. Bouquet. Up here I see each one of you glowing in your perfection. Why? Because I am glowing in mine and enjoying it, doing what I was born to be, which is to see each one of you as something special, unique, perfect. And if you don't believe me, it is the mind of you that is the tyrant you must kill off. Kill it. Because the true tyrant is the one that says, you are perfect, precious, adorable, and amazing. Amazing. Fantastic. Okay, so God, I'm going to steal the microphone now? Yes. So this is Sondra. We are going to take a break, and we will show back up here in 10 minutes. So think of questions. And this is my favorite, actually my favorite part of the programs is when people ask questions, because we go really deep. Not that we didn't go pretty deep tonight, but I'll see you in 10 minutes. Thank you very much. Thank you. I love it.